Hi, everyone.
Hi, guys.
That sounded really strange. This is my friend Brandi again.
I'm back.
We talked to her last time about scary movies and the possibility of them being an actual factual experience, I guess.
Real or fake.
So, along the same lines, we touched base on this a little bit in the last episode that we did together. I don't know when these are going to be going out. I'm guessing I'll put the last one we did, so it won't be too confusing, out first, and then this one. But the last one, we kind of touched base on how Brandi's not quite a believer in some of these paranormal experiences. But the interesting fact about Brandi is that she doesn't believe in these things. However, she's had a lot of weird experiences that she's like, yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's... And she calls the spirit or whatever that follows her George, which is weird that you would name that when you don't believe.
Well, it's interesting, this story. I called this guy George. I'll get into the story later, but I call him George. Just what came to me. I find out about a month ago that my dad's fifth grandpa is named George.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. That's kind of an interesting thing.
So I'm like, huh.
But not just that, I mean, a lot of people have relatives that are named George or whatever, but the fact that he talked about it
without asking,
yeah. And it's just George.
I do feel my grandpa's presence around, which is my dad's dad.
Okay, were you close to him at all? Or?
Yeah.
I feel a lot of like people who are deceased around me, and that sounds creepier than it's meant to, but
no.
I don't know. I think to be about me, no. But my interest in like paranormal and ghosts and stuff, I think stems from I was never religious growing up or anything. I never went to church. I didn't know anything about religious stuff at all. And ghosts and talking about that sort of another dimension in another realm is like proof that there's something else existing. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's a taste of why I'm such a believer. But let's talk about some of your experiences that you've had in this house that we are sitting in and recording in, by the way.
God help us all.
But you've she'll send me like videos of things that have happened, of things just moving around on their own or whatever, but I'll let you take away, just some interesting stories. So
the story with getting my George, I call him, he's my spirit guy. I believe he is a cowboy. He wears a cowboy hat, cowboy boots. That's just what I feel he is. So this has happened a couple times. I'll be laying in bed. My side is closer to our door. And we have like this little cubby thing by our door that I don't know how to explain it. But anyway, so I'll just be laying in bed and I'll see this like black shadow figure of a guy in a cowboy hat. Just staring up at me over my bed. I'm like, okay, it's George, whatever. And here's the funny part. I don't believe it. It's so crazy.
So what do you think it is, though? If you don't believe it,
I don't know. Like,
do you just think it's like you dreaming or something?
Possibly. Like, it could be my, I don't know, imaginary friend. I have an imaginary ghost. I don't know.
I think that's so interesting. I don't know. I just think that's so funny that you're like so against believing in something like that.
I'm a little different when it comes to that. Yeah. People don't understand me, which is fine, So
I wonder. Yeah. Because I remember you saying, what did you say to me that one day? You're like, I don't believe in ghosts, but I live in haunted houses or something like that. And I'm like, what does that mean?
Oh, yeah. I don't know how to explain that. It's just how I feel and how I think.
Yeah, it's so interesting. I don't know.
So that's how my George came about. But it's interesting because my grandpa would wear cowboy boots.
Really?
And kind of, not cowboy hats, but similar, I guess. So I don't know.
Maybe it's his spirit, like, lurking in the corner.
Yeah.
Saying hi.
I don't know. So that's where George came in.
That's interesting. George. That is, like, really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's a shadow person. Do you know what shadow people are?
Mm-hmm. But yeah. It's a black figure. I haven't seen him in a while, so.
How What's up, George? Like, suddenly George appears before us, like, hey, what's up, guys? It's so scary.
I would be moving at this point.
Oh, but what's the difference, like, between seeing him, like, right now, appear before us?
Because I'm probably, like,
up here.
Well, because I'm wide awake now, and I would see more compared to being in bed and half asleep.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's really interesting. So, you were telling us about remote control driving itself last time.
Yeah.
We were on the movie podcast. Mm-hmm. So for this episode, just kind of touch base on that a little bit and give us a little background story in case people didn't hear last time.
So I got this remote control car for my son. He's almost 2 now. And it's actually right there. I'm looking right at it.
Is it the red one?
Uh-huh. It's pretty good size. It's a little bigger than a tissue box, I guess. It has a remote control with it. The remote control was nowhere being used. The car was on the floor and it was driving on its own. It could have been a battery malfunction. Mm-hmm. It could have been someone playing with it. I don't know. It was interesting. I even sent Tara here a video of it.
Yeah.
Showing her that I'm not touching it. Nobody was around me.
Yeah. Did you delete that video?
Probably, yeah.
Probably.
So.
I'm like, oh, that would have been something so good to link in this.
Yes.
To be like, this is what happened. But I remember when you sent it to me, I was like, so this is happening in your house, and you don't believe that anything's haunted?
Exactly.
What is it then?
I don't know.
It's so funny to me. It's so funny. I don't know. But you've had multiple things happen.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So what are some other experiences that you've had happen?
So a few that I can really remember, and this was maybe a year or 2 or so ago. So our downstairs isn't finished. Our stairs that lead to downstairs aren't finished. So we have boxes of light bulbs sitting on the railing for storage. And so our stairs going downstairs are concrete. I hear this loud clashing. Me and my daughter and my husband was in the shower, so nobody was downstairs. I all of a sudden look down there, and there's about 5 or 6 boxes of light bulbs busted and scattered down my stairs. So I'm like, how could they have flown off, sitting up against a wall, all the way back, nobody touched them, and they're down the stairs, shattered.
A ghost. That's how that happens.
They're just the breeze of wind.
The breeze
wind blew it.
With no windows or anything around.
It's like in the middle of summer and it was heavy. Yeah.
Completely still skies. It's fine.
Yeah.
That was just a breeze.
So that was very bizarre. And it was small light bulbs. It was floodlights. They were just shattered.
That's crazy. So I know your mom. I remember her talking to me about this house a while back.
Yes,
she's like,
the fridge.
Yeah, there was like something that happened. There was something sitting on top of the fridge.
It was that box right there. My stand.
Okay. And
randomly flew off the fridge.
And it flew off the fridge with things in front of it?
I don't know. I can't remember how it was set up.
Okay.
But yeah,
where did it land exactly?
I think just straight down on the floor, right in front of the fridge. Just down.
Oh, that's so weird. I remember, but your mom's like said things like
that. My mom believes it, yes.
that this house is haunted.
Yeah.
She's much more of a believer than you are, and I think I want to have her mom on this show, by the way.
My mom has said that she has seen faces come through walls saying, help me, and all this other stuff.
Yeah, she's seen crazy paranormal things. So I feel like I want to have her on to talk about some of her experiences on another episode. But she said that, I remember one time she and I came here. I think it was one year in the hospital with Carson. And we came here for something.
Yeah, it was at night. It was about 11 at night.
Yeah, it was late at night. It was late at night, and basically we walked in and we were like, this house feels really creepy. And she said that she house sat for you a few years ago, and she said that she would hear noises, and it felt like there was a presence here, is what she told me.
Yeah, this was about 7.5 years ago.
Yeah.
When she was sitting for us.
Yeah, so she said that she came over here to watch the house and watch the dogs and stuff, but she's like, she never felt like it was a comfortable space for her or something. So I found that really interesting. But there is also another thing to being in someone else's house when they're not here. It's like a weird vibe that you get.
Yeah.
I don't know. But I just thought that was very interesting and kind of creepy. Are there any other experiences that you've had here? I'm trying to remember some.
The paint can.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead
and then the cup.
Go ahead and elaborate on those.
So a while ago, we had, like I mentioned, our basement's unfinished. We have an unfinished bathroom right down to the right at the bottom of the stairs. And we had paint cans just sitting in there kind of towards the middle of the floor. I'm upstairs and I hear this loud thunk noise. I'm like, okay. I go check it out and there's a paint can in the middle of the hallway. And we have about a foot long or foot tall of sheetrock going across the bathroom where the door would be so the dogs can't walk in there. How would it be on the floor in the bathroom, jump over a piece of sheetrock, and then be in our hallway?
A ghost. Your house is haunted. That's how. That's just my answer for her every time she...
A ghost. It's a ghost.
Every time she sends me something, I'm like, your house is haunted. It's not.
And then my thought is just like, okay, it probably is, but I'm like, it's not, but I don't know.
Yeah, you have like a weird way of dealing with it, which I guess is kind of like a defense mechanism if you're
trying to avoid the creepiness, I guess.
You don't want to come into terms with what's really happening.
True, yeah.
It's like, maybe we'll talk about this now. We both work at the same place. I've worked there for, 10 years this October.
I've been there too.
Yeah. So it happens fast, but so I've been there forever, and that house that workplace is an office now. It's a medical office, and it used to be a house. So it was transformed it was like a psychiatrist office, and then bought it as a medical facility. So it has a lot of history to it, and the place in and of itself is so creepy to me.
Yeah. It's got a creepy vibe.
It does have a creepy vibe. And I think a lot of it has to do with the energy that people bring in. And it's like when you go to a store that's about to close. It has kind of a creepy feeling. Like maybe people...
Because it's empty.
Yeah, it's like empty. And I feel like when people are around a space for a long amount of time, they leave some of their energy behind. And so it has like a weird buzz to it anyway. And then that buzz is like gone.
Yeah.
I don't know how to describe it, but nevertheless, when you are in our work after hours, it's so creepy. It is so creepy.
That's when it all starts.
That's when it all starts. When you are alone there and there's no excuse for the sounds you're hearing, it begins to be so creepy. But there are some nights, kind of going back to your house, I can understand why you'd want to ignore like certain aspects that are happening, because there are some nights when I'm at work after hours by myself and I'm like finishing stuff up and cleaning stuff or whatever, and I'll hear a noise and I'm like, it's got to be nothing. It has to be nothing, because you don't want to believe in what it actually could be.
Yeah.
So,
see, and I experience it when I'm there early morning by myself.
yeah.
Like I was telling you, I had the bag wrappers next to me, and I could hear them crackling, like someone was crunching them.
Yeah.
But they weren't moving.
Yeah. So, some mornings, so this sounds like really weird, and maybe I think I'm more intuitive than I really am, but some mornings I will go in there and I feel like there's just a lot of energy in that place. And like there's like a buzz of something going on. Mm-hmm. There's one morning, I think I've told you this before. So I clean the office after hours. Yeah. And some mornings, like if I don't finish before, like after work, I'll go in before. One morning I went in to clean the office and it just felt weird in there. And I started hearing all these weird noises, just like sounds like floorboards creaking and stuff. And I walked past this little room inlet thing, and it had a basket of walkie-talkies in it. And as I walked past, walkie-talkies went off. Like you'd hear the click on and the static.
Mm-hmm. And then you'd hear people like
and
talking
then I
through
heard
them.
like people talking through them. And maybe that's, I mean, there are construction people around, and that kind of picks up some of the interference from the actual walkie-talkies. But the fact that it turned on like right as I walked past, and I would hear it click on and off, scared the crap out of me, especially that morning, because it just felt weird in there. But then other mornings, like I'll go in, or nights that I'll be there after hours, I'll be there and it feels like nothing's happened. It just feels like totally fine, and I'm totally comfortable being there. But
I have noticed there's sometimes at night when we're staying, there's like something that keeps us there.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to leave.
Yeah.
It's bizarre.
And one of the other girls that we work with, she's kind of said the same thing. She'll stay after hours and catch up on paperwork and stuff. And she's mentioned a similar feeling, wanting to stay in the office. There's something that keeps you there. Like there are nights when I'm done and I'll just sit down in the waiting room for a while and just watch like a video or something, because I'm like, I feel like I can't go home right now for some reason.
I feel that a lot too. It's very strange.
It's a very weird feeling. Yet the second I get there, I want to go home.
Yep.
That's what's really strange.
I think we all feel that.
Yeah. So I don't know what that is. That's a very weird thing. But this person that stays after hours a lot doing paperwork that I was mentioning, Brandi was kind of reminding me, she has an issue with wearing earrings in the office. And that sounds crazy, but the other day, it was just last week, I had an instance where I was staying after hours and I got something out of a cupboard. I'd left the cupboard open and I grabbed whatever it was and I forgot to close the cupboard. Well, I went back to do something. I came back up front and I was like, oh crap, I forgot to close that cupboard. So I closed the cupboard and I am 99% sure that I closed that cupboard all the way. Mm-hmm. And I think they tested it
Yes,
the
we
next
tested
day.
it. It's not easy to stay open. It shuts back.
Yeah, when I was there. But anyway, so I closed it and I came back up to the front and it was open halfway. Mm-hmm. And I have no explanation for that. That same night that it happened, the girl that we were mentioning before had an earring missing.
Her left earring somehow came out of her ear and is like gone.
Yeah, she couldn't find it. Someone was telling me she still hasn't found it. So I just find
That's happened a few times, she said, where her earring gets taken and she can't find it.
Yeah, so I feel like it's almost, in some instances, like a playful, like childish spirit, almost, or something.
Mm-hmm. More than evil.
Yeah, like mischievous. Mm-hmm. They're opening up cupboards, or one time I was sitting with one of the other coworkers and we were sitting by a computer, and all of a sudden on a mouse, how it has a little wheel that you click to go up and down on a page. We were just sitting there. She wasn't touching the mouse at all. We were just talking, and all of a sudden we see the little wheel of the mouse and the page of the screen go click, 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 and then click back and forth. Mm-hmm. And that just feels like a kid, like, messing with you. Mm-hmm. I don't know. But we also had an experience, and this one really freaks me out. And I'll let Brandi kind of start out with what the story was, because she saw it first. So
this room where we do the cleaning and stuff, I call it my room because I'm in there most of the time. I was standing doing stuff out of the corner, because there's like a door and then a hall to go down. I looked out of the corner of my left eye. I seen this black figure walk by. I was like, oh, it's just Tara, because she was wearing black scrubs that day. She's just going down there to clean. I walked down there and she's not down there. She was actually to the right of me down the other hall.
Yeah.
And then from there...
So after that, I walked down to where she thought she saw the whatever shadow, spirit, whatever you want to call it, walk past into. I walked down there to start cleaning, and I was like mopping and stuff, and I had like a really weird feeling, and all of a sudden I heard a noise coming from the other room that's kind of backing that room that I was cleaning. And it sounded like a bang, like somebody was in there. And I was like, that's weird. I wonder who's still in here, because I thought you, who originally was in there, had left to go up front or something. And so I walked around there to see who it was, and there was nobody in there. And then I walked back down to start mopping, and out of the corner of my eye, I saw a figure. It was just a dark figure. I would say it looked like a male or something. It was a man.
My George, possibly?
Maybe. I don't know. But it was standing there in the corner of my eye, and I freaked. Mm-hmm. I ran up the stairs. I found you, and I was like, there's something down there. I can't go down there. And I think I talked you or someone else into staying with me while
I stayed.
Yeah, finished like mopping down there, because I'm like, even though I saw a ghost, I still have to finish my job. And so I finished that, and then later on I was by myself, and everyone else in the office had left because it was after hours. Mm-hmm. And I went to vacuum down in that area, and I brought the vacuum down. I started to vacuum, and it turned off. No matter how many times like I tried to turn it back on, it would turn off again.
Huh.
And it wasn't like the vacuum was being unplugged or something. Like, there was a lot of slack on the cord of the vacuum.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. It was just such a mystery to me.
Yeah.
But I just found that really crazy. A very crazy experience.
Very. Because even when you thought it was me down there or whatever, that's when I was like, well, I thought you just walked past me.
Yeah.
And it wasn't you.
Yeah. Yeah, because I thought it was you doing something. I was like, what are you doing?
We were both in black scrubs, so
yeah.
You just see something go past your face, you're going to assume it's your coworker.
Yeah. And that was a very interesting instance because, like I said before, usually we notice these things after hours.
Yeah.
When no one else is there. And there were still a good number of people there.
Yeah.
Maybe not everyone. All the patients and everything had left, but we were still hanging out there. And there were still a couple other coworkers that were hanging out at front. So it's not like it was an empty office. That's what was so crazy to me. But yeah, we do have, well, we're trying to set up like a ghost hunt there. So it's going to be very interesting on what we find.
Yes.
So I'll keep you guys posted on that. But it's going to be crazy because maybe I am crazy though.
I don't think you are.
Well, okay.
I don't really believe, but I'm not going to,
Yeah.
who's to say it's not really, something's not there.
Yeah, you're not going to discredit something.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people who have been there after hours and stuff have felt a lot of weird things.
Yeah.
So we had a new employee that just started like less than a year ago, and she, from the moment she walked in, she thought, she's like, this feels really creepy.
Yeah.
So I think you know who I'm talking about.
Yes.
And I don't want to give anything else away, but she would come in the morning, and as soon as we were done with people and patients, the second she could leave, she'd be out of there. Like, you couldn't find her.
Yeah.
Because she would just book it. Because she was so freaked out by what was happening in the office. So, I don't know. I thought that was really interesting because it's something that I've been feeling for years. And so when new people come in and experience the same things that I feel like I've been experiencing, I don't know, it's like validation, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just crazy, like I said, but I would like to think I'm not. I'd like to think I'm not crazy and that these are actual factuals.
Yeah.
You know? I don't know.
I guess I'd have to see something in life really happen, like besides TV shows, the hauntings and like ghost hunters and stuff. I'd have to see it for myself.
Yeah.
I think.
Maybe that's what it is with you. Like, you've become desensitized or something, you know? Like, you see these movies and stuff and assume that everything's fake.
It's all fake. Yep.
Yeah. So maybe it's just like a weird sensitization. But
yeah. I do also want to add, I just thought of this. So my grandpa had passed away in 2007, and my grandma was a year or so later or something. She was in the hospital. So we went to visit her, and I was sitting on the chair. She was in her hospital bed in front of me. There was a painting behind me, and Grandma was talking something, and she pointed at the picture behind me, and she goes, see, there's Doug right there, which is my grandpa, my dad's dad.
Ew,
Apparently
really?
he was in that picture, and I got up and walked out. But yeah, she said,
oh my God.
She pointed and said, see, there's Doug right there.
That's a pretty common thing, though.
And I kind of like stopped, like, well, what? That was like my first encounter of any of this paranormal activity thing.
Yeah.
I kind of stopped, looked behind me, seen a picture, slowly got up. I'm like, no, what? What's happening?
Yeah.
Like,
maybe you're just like too freaked out by it to like.
Yeah. I was like, oh.
Really give in to the circumstances.
But when he did die, I, like at my parents' house when I was still living there for a little bit, I would be scared to go down and up and down my stairs because I felt like he was gonna, I don't want people to think the wrong thing, but I felt like he was gonna hurt me.
Oh, really?
Like I felt a very evil scary vibe coming up. I always felt like he was going to hurt me.
Really?
Coming up the stairs, yeah.
Huh.
Which I know he wouldn't.
Yeah.
Because I was pretty much his favorite. It was pretty interesting.
That is really interesting.
Hearing your grandma in the hospital saying, "Oh, look, there he is."
Yeah, that's kind of... I hear stories about that a lot, where people are about to pass, they see a spouse or a child that's passed or something, and say they're with them, which I can buy into. You know, if there is such a thing as like a spirit world or another world beyond this one, that somebody would be coming that you would recognize as family or as a loved one would come along and kind of help you through that journey. I can buy into that. I feel like that's kind of a nice thing to think about, actually.
Yeah. That
when you're dying, you're not so alone.
But I do want to add in one more thing that has happened here last night. And I actually Marco Polo'd Tara on it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I wanted to talk about that.
So my kids share a room, and they have this play kitchen set with a bunch of plastic cups. It was actually the cup that you gave Lex when she was 1 for her first birthday. It was that set.
Really?
It was one of those cups.
Ooh. Maybe I'm passing on the
interesting,
hauntedness.
Huh? So, I was down the stairs, and I was by the back door that goes down to another stairs into our basement. I had the plastic cup was sitting by the door because my son had brought it up. So I threw it down the stairs, and down the hallway, it's pretty long, and it bounced off my door frame and landed right there. Okay? I walked down there again, and the cup is at the bottom of the stairs. So as I'm poloing Tara, I was walking with my feet, and I counted, how many? Like 18 or something? 18, 19 steps?
That sounds about right, yeah.
How would it have stopped at the bottom of my door and
then moved another
like 18,
several feet?
Yeah, like 18 of my steps to the bottom of the stairs. I thought that was interesting.
And there was no one else down there?
No, we were all upstairs.
That's what's crazy. Because I can see if, like, your kid was down there playing or something in the other room and you didn't know they were down there or something and they kicked it or somebody kicked it or something, then I could be like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But for, like, an inanimate object to be thrown down the stairs, stop in a certain position, and be there, and nobody else being around to move it or dislodge it from that area to find it somewhere else. I don't know. That's so crazy.
Yeah.
But your house isn't haunted, right?
No. I have holy water and holy salt.
There you go.
I'm prepared. I am Catholic, so.
It does, yeah, that would make sense. You gotta have those things around.
Yep.
All right. Well, I think we're gonna wrap it up for now. As I am pretty creeped out by this house and need to get out. I'm just kidding. It's fine during the day. I've not really felt too many like creepy vibes, but it's just the stories you've told me that I'm on edge a little bit when I come here. So personally, I can't say that there's actual experiences, but yeah, we'll wrap it up for today. We have other things we'd like to talk about, maybe more work stuff. So stay tuned for that. It'll be coming up. But thank you again, Brandi, for joining me today.
Thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed my stories.
I hope everyone did, and I hope people can convince Brandi that there is actual ghosts and that her house is really haunted.
Thanks, guys.
She's like, thanks. That's great. That's real comforting.
It's time to move.
Yeah. Time to get out of here. No, but thank you so much for listening, for downloading this episode. Please find me on all the things. It's Paranormal Podcast, Facebook, Instagram. Find me there. Follow me. Subscribe to this podcast. all the stuff, all the things, all the whatnot. Thank you guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.